Now we have a question from Hassan Amins. He asks what I think about the Yemeni war. This is what I think about the Yemeni war. And I have the right to say this. Let me begin. I went to Iran in the year of 2015. I got on a ship, a rescue ship, with the Red Crescent Society, the UN-chartered health organization from the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we tried to deliver humanitarian aid to the people of Yemen. Our ship was full of food and medical supplies. We tried to get to Yemen. And the Saudis, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on the day we were supposed to arrive in the port of Hodeidah, they bombed that port 8 times in a single day, killed, I think, 42 people working at the port we were supposed to arrive at, and we were not able to reach Yemen and deliver that medical aid. And blocking humanitarian aid is a war crime. It's a war crime. So the Saudis committed a war crime to prevent me and these brave people I was on that ship with. These doctors, these nurses, these humanitarian workers from Iran who've been all over the world. They committed a real crime by not allowing us to reach Yemen and deliver those medical supplies, And I mean, these doctors were so disappointed. They were ready to go risk their lives to help the Yemeni people. And that was a life-changing experience for me. I spent 13 days on that ship. We went from, the Persian Gulf into the Gulf of Aden, and we were trying to get to the port of Hodeidah in Yemen and deliver humanitarian aid to the people of Yemen. It was a meaningful experience for me, and it was heavy, because American media was talking about the ship and trying to say that we were, going to deliver weapons or something. That was absurd. We weren't, that was nothing of the kind. It was a humanitarian assistance to the people of Yemen. Furthermore, I saw American planes flying over us. I saw Saudi military stuff. I saw Yemen. I didn't actually get to go to Yemen, but I saw the coast of Yemen. I saw the coast of Oman. And it was a very, very life-changing experience for me to be there trying to deliver aid to the people of Yemen as they're in the middle of this war. What the Saudis are doing, the world is basically watching a war crime unfolding. The people of Yemen are being bombed and bombarded. Saudi Arabia has the 4th largest military budget of any country in the entire world. And they are attacking one of the poorest countries in the entire world. Yemen is one of the poorest countries in the entire world. And why are they doing it? Because Yemen has huge untapped oil deposits. They've got a lot of oil in Yemen, but not a lot of oil production going on. They're not extracting the oil. And basically, if Yemen were to win its independence, and they would then start developing, and they would start using that oil to build up their economy, and they could actually go from being one of the poorest countries in the world to being rather prosperous. They could do like what Iran has done, what Venezuela has done, what Russia has done, and they could utilize their oil resources to build up their economy. The Saudis don't want that. They want to control the Yemeni oil, and they want to keep it in the ground. They want it to kind of keep it in their back pocket in case they run low, and they basically want to keep Yemen as just kind of a colony or a dependent colony. And this President Mansour Hadi, he was the only candidate on the ballot. That's not an election. If you ban all the other candidates on the ballot, Mansour Hadi he's a Saudi businessman, a Yemeni who does business with Saudi Arabia. He was the only candidate on the ballot. The people of Yemen don't want to be a colony of Saudi Arabia and Wall Street oil companies. They want their independence, and they want to start developing. The symbol, we always hear about the Houthis in U.S. media. Well, they're called the Ansar Allah movement, but they're just one faction in what they call the Revolutionary Committee, which is people in Yemen fighting for their independence. But, their symbol, they have a finger pointing up to symbolize God and Islam. They have, a rifle, showing that their right to self-defense, but they also have a shaft of wheat. And that stands for economic development. And that's what the people of Yemen are fighting for. They are fighting because they don't want to be poor any longer. Wall Street has kept them poor and underdeveloped, and they are fighting for the right to develop their country and have economic opportunity and sell their own oil and make money from their own oil on the international markets. And the Yemeni people are absolutely right to resist this all-out attack by Saudi Arabia. And the fact that the Western world, there's all this hatred for the Syrian government because they're defending their own country from terrorists. There's all this demonization of the government of Venezuela for trying to hold itself together as Western extremists are bombing and trying to tear the country up. But the people of Yemen are fighting a foreign attack that is basically a foreign attack motivated to try and keep them poor. The people of Yemen, I think about them all the time. And I think about when I was on the ship, when I was on that ship with, I think it was 50 people that were on that ship with me. Not many of them spoke English, but 10 or 11 folks spoke English. I learned a lot from those folks on that ship. And every so often I'll dream that I'm on that ship. still. It's very weird. I'll have a recurring dream about being on that ship and thinking about when I was in the Gulf of Aden and the Gulf and the Persian Gulf on my way to try and deliver humanitarian aid to the people of Yemen. That was a moment in my life that was really pivotal, and I did a lot of thinking. When you're on a ship for 13 days with only 10 other people who can speak English, not many places to go, you do a lot of thinking. I did a lot of reflecting. And it made me do a lot of thinking. It was kind of a pivotal moment in my life. But anyway, too much navel gazing here. I don't want to get all psychological for you all. What's going on? Hassan Amin says, I'm a Yemeni and I agree with you 100%. Well, good for you, Hassan. And, I think about how your people are fighting back. This is David and Goliath 2018, right? This is one of the poorest countries in the world. It's standing strong against an all-out onslaught, against some of the richest and most powerful forces in the world. And, they always say that these are Iranian agents. That's the smear that is constantly here. Well, if the Yemeni people were Iranian agents, this war would have ended a long time ago. If they were all just getting paid by Iran or whatever, this would have been a long time ago over. If a country that is this poor and underdeveloped can withstand so much of an onslaught, so many bombs, so much destruction, so much depriving of food and medical aid, that's because they really believe in what they're doing. And that if you look at these rallies that the revolutionary government in Yemen will have, they'll have thousands and thousands of people, just out there rallying and waving their guns around and saying, we will not surrender. I mean, this is one of the poorest countries in the world fighting to defend itself and fighting for its economic independence. And the people of Yemen absolutely, I mean, this is about them. This isn't about Iran. This isn't about, terrorism or something like that. This is about the people of Yemen asserting their independence. And we should all, our hearts should go out to them.